Although the 1990s gave rise to two of the most celebrated war films in history, it was a notably sparse decade in terms of quantity. This may have been due to the large number of World War II-related movies produced in the 1980s. However, a return to similar production levels emerged in the early 2000s. The goal of this series is to explore whether these films were rooted in true events or purely fictional. Saving Private Ryan 1998, directed by Steven Spielberg, is not based on a true story but takes inspiration from historical events, particularly the D-Day invasion and the reality of brothers serving in wartime. The film's central premise, rescuing a sole surviving sibling, is loosely drawn from the story of the Sullivan brothers, 5 siblings who perished when the USS Juno was sunk in 1942. Their deaths led to the U.S. military implementing policies to prevent a family's last surviving son from being sent into combat. The plot also bears similarities to the real-life account of the Nealon brothers. Fritz Nealand, a paratrooper with the 101st Airborne Division, was sent home after the deaths of his brothers. Edward, presumed dead, along with Robert and Preston during World War II. Edward was later found alive in a Japanese POW camp. Life is Beautiful. La Vita è Bella 1997, directed by and starring Roberto Benigni, is not a factual account but is influenced by real events and personal testimonies from the Holocaust. It merges fictional storytelling with real-life experiences to deliver a profound message. Roberto Benigni's father, Luigi, was an Italian soldier captured by the Germans and held in a labor camp for 2 years. He later shared harrowing accounts of his ordeal, which deeply impacted Roberto's storytelling approach, shaping his depiction of survival and hope amidst unimaginable hardship. The film weaves humor, sorrow, and resilience, paying tribute to the human spirit's endurance during one of history's darkest periods. The Thin Red Line 1998 is rooted in historical events, yet remains a fictionalized narrative. The film adapts James Jones's 1962 novel of the same name, which offers a semi-autobiographical portrayal of his wartime service. Jones, a U.S. Army veteran of the 25th Infantry Division, based much of the novel on his personal experiences. The story centers on the Battle of Mount Austin, a key part of the larger Guadalcanal campaign, 1942 to 1943. While military strategies and battle sequences remain historically grounded, the soldiers' personal interactions and relationships are dramatized. Characters such as Private Witt, played by Jim Caviezel, and Sergeant Welsh, played by Sean Penn, are entirely fictional. Stalingrad 1993 is not based on a single true account, but is heavily influenced by real-life events and first-hand experiences from the brutal Battle of Stalingrad 1942 to 1943. The film chronicles the journey of a fictional German unit from their arrival in Stalingrad to their eventual demise or capture. Their suffering, bitter cold, starvation, relentless Soviet assaults, and brutal close-quarters combat mirrors the realities documented by soldiers who fought and perished in the battle. While their hardships reflect genuine accounts, specific incidents and personal dynamics are fictionalized for dramatic storytelling. Memphis Belle 1990 is inspired by real events but takes artistic liberties for dramatic purposes. The story is based on the experiences of the crew aboard the B-17 Memphis Belle during World War II. This bomber became one of the first to complete 25 combat missions over Europe and return to the U.S. intact, providing a major morale boost for the Army Air Force. The film focuses on the crew's climactic 25th mission, a high-stakes bombing raid over Germany. Historically, the Memphis Belle's 25th mission was a raid on Wilhelmshaven on May 17, 1943. Marking the end of their required tour of duty, the movie condenses events, combining multiple missions into one final dramatic operation. The crew members, while inspired by real individuals, are largely fictionalized, with heightened conflicts and dramatized moments to increase emotional intensity. Certain elements, such as severe aircraft damage and life-or-death moments, are exaggerated for cinematic impact. Schindler's List 1993 is based on true events. The film adapts Thomas Keneally's 1982 historical novel Schindler's Ark, chronicling Oskar Schindler's real-life efforts to save Jews during the Holocaust. Many people and events depicted in the film are historically accurate, including Amon Goeth, portrayed by Ralph Fiennes, the sadistic commandant of Plajo, and Itzhak Stern, played by Ben Kingsley, Schindler's accountant who played a key role in the rescue efforts. Survivor testimonies corroborate much of the film's portrayal. Though faithful to history, certain elements are dramatized or simplified for narrative clarity. Spielberg employs cinematic symbolism, such as the iconic girl in the red coat, as a poignant visual metaphor rather than a direct historical figure.